taking my mask off since I'm the only one in my room and I don't have to have it on. So, hello everybody. So, today we're going to do a reading strategy and I'm going to call them thick and thin questions. So, we all know when we hear the word thick, we kind of know that that means more, a lot of, okay? And so thin, we think of not as much. So I'm going to teach you a reading strategy that you can use with anything that you read. It could be informational text, it could be a short story that you're reading in one of your classes, or it could even be content information like in biology. So what I want you to do is think of thin questions as questions that would be like how many, who, what, where, why, just really quick answers. They're kind of like recall. So let's say you're reading something in biology and it's asking you about a term, maybe, let me think, of a cell. What is a cell? Then you can say, okay, what is a cell? It's the single unit of life. You may get specific about how many something is if you're reading a story. And then, but with the thin questions, it's going to be something pretty simple, something that you're going to recall. It may be an informational text, and you've got a couple of numbers that you can look back in the test. These are going to be things that you can kind of recall pretty easy. Now, thick questions are going to be questions that you really need to think about. It's a little bit more than just recalling what you read. You're going to be kind of taking it to the next level, like, what if this happened? Or why do you think this happened? Or would you do this? Or would you do that? Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk you through using a story that we've all heard since childhood, The Three Little Pigs. We all know the story of the Three Little Pigs. They went to build their houses, and one built it with sticks, one built it with stones, and one built it with whatever, bricks, I believe it was. And so the big bad wolf comes along and huffs and puffs, and he blows all the houses down. So when you're looking at your thin questions, what are some things that we could say? How many pigs were there? There were three little pigs. Who was the antagonist? The big bad wolf. Where did this happen? Well, probably in the land of fairy tales. When did it happen? Well, it happened when they were building their houses, okay? So those are thin type questions. They're going to be things that you can recall pretty simply. Now, the thick questions are going to be a little bit more difficult, but you're going to ask yourself questions. For example, why do you think the big bad wolf wanted to blow their house down? Okay. Why do you think the first little pig built his house out of sticks? Or what would you have done if the big bad wolf came to your house? Do you see how I'm doing that? I'm thinking a little bit more out of the box. I'm not just recalling. And this is a type of thing that if you think about it, if you're going through and reading, you ask yourself a variety of thin and thick questions, you're going to be able to comprehend what you're reading a lot easier. Now, one thing I think we need to do is I think we need to practice this, and we will follow up with this again later. But what I want you to do is I want you to think of a fairy tale other than the Three Little Pigs. You can do Little Red Riding Hood, you can do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't care what you do, but a story that a lot of people kind of know, maybe you heard growing up. And I want you to come up with three thin questions, which would be who, what, when, where, how many. And then I want you to come up with just two thick questions that you could use for that story that we've all heard before. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to enable a text box. So all you have to do is text this back to me. And so if you will text in the text box your thin questions and your thick questions, then you will get credit for this little reading strategy. And then what we're going to do next, Maybe not this week, but we're going to take this strategy and we're going to apply it to something that you actually may read, maybe on an end of course test or something that's more grade level specific. But I want you to practice with a story that we all know so you'll have an easier time kind of getting the concept. If you have any questions, like always, let me know, but I hope this helps. See you later. Bye.